Hey, Women of Purpose, I have a word of encouragement for you guys today. So I wanted to jump on and share this with you guys. We have a snow day today, so the kids are out of school. Actually, I guess it's called a weather day for the ice. But I'm sure you're going to see Saul running around in his diapers, and the kids have been sent to their room several times because, as you can imagine, they've already been car killing each other. But I couldn't get past it this morning, so I really just had that pulling to get on and share and encourage and speak with you guys. So a little bit of backstory about what the Lord showed me today is, you guys know me, you know how the Lord operates in my life, and a lot of times He speaks to me through dreams. And so I had a dream about a personal area of my life, but more often than not, actually probably 75% of the time, the personal dreams He gives me that are not like intercession dreams are, I also will get a message out of to teach with or to share with. And this is the same way. So I had a dream a couple weeks ago that I was in this unfamiliar home, but yet it was all family around us. So it was familiar atmosphere in an unfamiliar area, or I guess you can reverse that however you want. So we're in this room, and I don't recognize the area, the room itself, but I recognize the people. And there's these bay windows, and I look out the bay windows, and there's this fiery tornado heading our way, and everybody just sitting there staring at it. And I finally kind of get frustrated. So I turn around, I look at my father, and I say, is there not a place of safety to go? Is there not a basement we can go to? And when I looked at my dad, I had said that, he just silently looked at me, and he says, yes, it is this way. And then he began to lead us to the basement. And I had been kind of there's more to the dream, but I just want to talk about this. But I had been pondering the dream back and forth for the last couple weeks. And this morning, though, my focus was on the Father. Before, I've thought on, I've pondered on, I've prayed on, the tornado and the thing that's coming and all that blah. But this morning I was sweeping, I was trying to get some cleaning done. And all of a sudden, it's like the Lord dropped in my spirit. When I called to the Father, things change and begin to move. Psalms 50:15 says, call upon me in the day of trouble, and I will deliver you, and you shall glorify me. So as the Lord spoke that to me this morning, it's almost like I'm like a duh, aha, oh my gosh moment. And I'm like, I never even paid attention that all these people, there was a handful of people in this room, and everybody's looking out their window, and we're watching this fiery tornado. We're seeing the destruction coming, and everybody's aware of what's about to be upon us. Nobody's moving, and until finally I look at the one who had the answer, and I says, is there not a place of safety we could go to? Is there not a basement, somewhere of a shelter that we could go to? And it took me to look to the Father. He already knew what to do. We quote these scriptures all the time about, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. But God spoke to me so clearly today, I don't just want to be with you. I want to deliver you out of your trouble. But if you don't look to me, and if you don't call upon me, and you don't say, hey God, get me out of here, then He's just going to be with you. So you're going to die in His presence because He was with you, and He didn't forsake you, and He didn't leave you, just like His word absolutely promised. But He's saying to us today that there's more. We don't got to just be with God in the midst of trouble. We can look to Him and say, Father, is there not a place of safety? So call upon me in the day of trouble, and I will deliver you, and you shall glorify me. Is there glory saying that God's with me and never left me? Absolutely. But is there more glory in the story when we say God delivered me out of the trouble when I called upon Him? He's just waiting, and He's saying, Marzella or Kitty or Stella, would you just call upon me? Would you just say, Father, get me out of here? He was there in the midst of the trouble, and he was going to go down. I speak this loosely. I don't mean God's ever going down, but he was going to be in the midst of the tornado. It was right there. It was upon us, and he was going to be there with us, but yet he had other plans, because he said, there is a place to go. There's a secret place. There's a cleft in the rock. There's wings that'll cover you. But you've got to look at me and say, Father, but would you take me there? Would you deliver me? Would you cover me? Would you hide me? I don't want to go down. I'm not done yet. I still have purpose. It says, and you shall glorify me. There is glory in being able to say, but I was in this position. I was going down. The doctor's reports were drowning me. The marriage was gone. The husband was on dope. The kids were crazy. But God, I looked to him and said, but God, would you deliver me in my day of trouble? I'm calling upon you. My father in that dream had the answer, and he had the solution, and he had the guidance. But he didn't offer it until I said, Father, is there not a place to go? Is there not a place to go? And I would encourage you guys today, there is a place for you. Jeremiah 33:3 says this, call to me and I will answer you, and I will show you great and mighty things which you do not know. You hear this preached a lot, but what you're not seeing is the backstory. The backstory is Jeremiah was physically, actually, if you just start, says, moreover, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah a second time while he was still shut up in the courts of the prison. He was shut up into a dark place. And listen, a prison in these day and times were not a prison like we have today. This is a luxury hotel stay that we have. They had these dark, dirty, damp, cold places. And if you didn't have someone on the outside that was willing to bring you food, then you were going to starve to death too. And if there wasn't somebody to have a little compassion on the prisoners to throw them some food or maybe a blanket, they went without. So the prisons that we're talking about, these were true, what you call dungeons. So he says, while he was still shut up in the courts of the prison, and yet God gave to him and said, call upon me and I will answer you and show you great and mighty things which you know not. It takes us to do the calling. He'll be there. He'll be with you the whole time you're there. He'll be in the cold with you. He'll be in the heartbreak with you. He'll be in the grief with you. He'll be in every single place that you're at, because like the word says, he'll never leave you, forsake you. But there's more. He's saying, call upon me. I will answer you. I will deliver you. Now look at Psalms 91. You know, there's so many scriptures. I just grabbed these couple that, throughout the Bible, they're there, and it's repetitive. So anytime something's repetitive and you continually find the same like verses, that means stop, pay attention, look at this. There's something here. There's something to get here. Psalms 91:5 says, that's not 91. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night. Where am I going? Where'd it go? Hold on. There's a, okay, it's in 91 somewhere, but I lost it. But it's saying that, I'm sorry, go down to 15. So I left out the one. And he shall call upon me and I will answer him, and I will be with him in trouble, and I will deliver him and honor him. Go on to 6, with long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. That word salvation means more than just, my soul is saved. It means health. It means rescue. It means delivered. What do you have in need of? Your Savior is therefore salvation for you. You've got to open your mouth and you've got to begin to call upon him. And you know what? It's humbling to be able to say, God, I'm weak in this area, or God, I need help in this area. And it's also it takes courage to bare your soul, to say, God, I'm hurting here. And I don't know how to trust you with this because it's so deep to me, and I'm so scared, and I don't want to be let down, and I don't want to be left behind, and I don't want to be disappointed. But you got to get beyond being fearful that he's not going to answer and fearful that he's not going to do it your way. You've got to still be able to call upon him, because if we call, that's when he answers. That's when he delivers. If you don't call, he can't answer. If you don't knock, it can't be open to you. And if you don't seek, you can't find. God is not a genie that sits on a shelf for you to go and rub a lamp and say, here's what I want, and it's just granted to you. That would be great in theory, And a lot of people preach it this way, and we all somehow have got this mindset that that's the way it works. But that is so disrespectful to the God we serve, because he's not that way. There is laws of heaven. There's rules of heaven. You know, even the binding and loosening law. It says that what's bound in heaven shall be bound on earth. But how do you know what's already bound in heaven if you're not calling upon him and he's not answering, telling you this is the way, this is what's bound. Go ahead and bind this because it's already bound. Go ahead and loose that because it's already loose. We've got to start calling upon the Father, and more than just for a quick fix, and more for just because I want it this way. We got to be able to call upon him and humble ourselves and bare our souls and say, Father, you're the only way out. Just like in that room, I was into a place that I wasn't aware of. I was an unfamiliar place. But yet I knew there would be one who would know where the place of covering was. There was a place to get out of the storm. There was a place to be covered from that fiery tornado. But I couldn't just ask anybody. I couldn't just ask the church. I couldn't just ask my prayer partner. I couldn't just ask my friend or my mother. It had to be the Father. Because the Father is the one who says, I will answer thee. I will deliver you. I will not just be with you, but if you call, I'm going to answer. So I just wanted to encourage you guys today. Don't just be satisfied to know God's with you in the storm. Don't just be satisfied and say it's enough just to know that God's here in the heartbreak. Say, God, save me. Deliver me. Is there not a place of safety? Is there not a place to go to be covered while this storm passes by? Is there not a place that we can go that this fiery tornado or the contrary winds won't affect us? Is there not a place to get out of the heat? Is there not a place to go? And he says, yeah, there is. I was just waiting for someone to ask me to take them. And then you've got to follow. See, a lot of times we stop. We stop with, oh, he answered. He answered. But it goes beyond just getting the answer. Now you have to follow. Follow the instruction. Follow the leader of him. Because until you actually begin to follow him and take the steps to the place of safety, it's still just a place available that you're not even using. So I just wanted to encourage you guys today. Call upon him. Call upon him. Don't just be satisfied to know he's with you. That is great. And it speaks volumes. But he's saying, I got somewhere to take you. What just happened there? I got somewhere to take you. I got somewhere to cover you. And if you just be courageous enough and brave enough to call upon me, I'm not going to disappoint you. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to let you down. I'm going to take you to the place of safety. And then as the storm passes by, you'll be covered in the shadows of his wings. And at the appointed time, you can go back out, and just like Psalms 50:15 said, you shall glorify him. There's a time of covering and a time of glorifying. Don't rush the covering to begin the glory, because there's a time of healing. A healing comes in the time of covering. As God covers you, take that healing, take that rest, take that, break even in the Lord, that rest that you need. And then begin to glorify. And then glorify him and let all men know what he's capable of. That's just what I wanted to share with you guys today. And I got David in the orange bowl because that's where I set the phone. But I hope you guys are blessed, and I hope this ministers to you. All right.